The straight punch, or Choku Zuki, the arrow that flies true. It's the punch that comes straight down the pipe, like a bullet fired from a gun. When unleashed with proper form and timing, it's like a piston driving forward with unstoppable force. Mas Oyama, the legendary karate master, was known for his devastating straight punches. He once famously said, "One punch, one kill." When Oyama's fist connected, it was game over. Reverse punch, or Gyaku Zuki, the torqued-up tormentor that strikes from the hip. It may look like a simple punch, but when you add that slight rotation of the hips, it's like adding nitrous to an engine. Suddenly, that straight punch becomes a heat-seeking missile, zeroing in on your opponent's chin. Fumio Demura, the legend who inspired Mr. Miyagi in The Karate Kid, was a master of the reverse punch. When he fired that fist from his tip, it was like watching a cobra strike. Upper-level punch, or Jodan Zuki, the rising dragon that strikes from below. This punch targets the face or solar plexus, using an upward trajectory to slip past your opponent's guard. It's like an uppercut on steroids, rocketing up with blistering speed and power. Takayuki Kubota, the founder of Gosokuri Karate, was known for his lightning-fast Jodan Zukis. When he launched that fist upward, it was like watching a dragon take flight. Knife hand strike, or Shuto Uchi, the blade that slices through defenses. It's the strike that turns your hand into a razor-sharp sword, capable of cutting through even the toughest opponent. When you swing that knife hand like a saber, it's like watching a samurai in action. Hirokazu Kanazawa, the legendary Shotokan master, was known for his devastating Shuto Uchis. When he sliced that hand through the air, it was like watching a master swordsman at work. Back fist strike, or Uraken Uchi, the whip that cracks from behind. This strike comes from the blind side, using a whipping motion to generate speed and power. It's like cracking a bullwhip across your opponent's face, leaving them stunned and reeling. Chuck Norris, the Hollywood legend and karate champion, was famous for his lightning-fast Uraken Uchis. When he spun around and unleashed that back fist, it was like watching a human tornado in action. Front kick, or Geri, the spear that pierces through the guard. It's the kick that comes straight up the middle, using the ball of the foot to penetrate your opponent's defenses. When you snap that leg out like a piston, it's like firing a spear through your opponent's chest. Bill Superfoot Wallace, the karate legend and kickboxing champion, was known for his blinding-fast Geris. When he unleashed that front kick, it was like watching a cobra strike. Side kick, or Yoko Geri, the battering ram that smashes through walls. This kick comes from the side, using the heel to deliver a bone-crushing blow. It's like slamming a battering ram into your opponent's ribs or solar plexus. Joe Louis, the legendary karate fighter and kickboxer, was famous for his devastating Yoko Geris. When he fired that side kick, it was like watching a wrecking ball in action. Roundhouse kick, or Mawashi Geri, the scythe that reaps the harvest. This kick comes from the side, using the instep or shin to deliver a devastating blow. When you swing that leg like a scythe, it's like reaping your opponent's head from their shoulders. Benny the Jet Urquidez, the karate and kickboxing legend, was known for his lightning-fast Mawashi Geris. When he unleashed that roundhouse kick, it was like watching a human tornado in action. Hook kick, or Mawashi Geri, the boomerang that comes back to haunt you. This kick starts with a roundhouse motion, then snaps back like a boomerang to strike your opponent's head or body. It's like throwing a boomerang that orbits your opponent before smashing into their jaw. Andy Hug, the Kyokushin karate legend and K1 champion, was famous for his devastating Mawashi Geris. When he fired that hook kick, it was like watching a heat-seeking missile in action. Axe kick, or Kakato Otoshi, the guillotine that chops from above. This kick raises the leg high overhead, then brings the heel crashing down like a guillotine. When you drop that axe kick, it's like chopping a tree in half with a single blow. Semi Schilt, the Dutch karate champion and K1 legend, was known for his devastating Kakato Otoshis. When he brought that heel down, it was like watching the blade of a guillotine fall. Elbow strike, or Hiji, the hammer that smashes through armor. It's the strike that turns your elbow into a battering ram, capable of crushing bone and pulverizing flesh. When you slam that elbow into your opponent, it's like swinging a sledgehammer into a brick wall. Bas Rutten, the Dutch karate champion and MMA legend, was famous for his brutal Hiji. When he unleashed that elbow, it was like watching a demolition crew at work. Knee strike, or Geri, the arrow that pierces the heart. This strike uses the knee as a spear, driving it upward into your opponent's chest or face. When you thrust that knee like a piston, it's like firing an arrow straight through your opponent's heart. Glob Fitosa, the Brazilian Kyokushin Karate champion, was known for his devastating Hizageris. When he unleashed that knee strike, it was like watching a human battering ram in action. Blocking techniques, the impenetrable shields that deflect all attacks. Rising block, Eijuk. Downward block, Diden Barai. And knife hand block, Shutohuk, form the holy trinity of karate defense. These techniques turn your arms into iron bars, capable of deflecting even the most powerful blows. Lyoto Machida, the karate master and former UFC champion, was famous for his impenetrable defense. When he used his blocks, it was like watching a force field in action. Stances, the immovable foundations that root you to the earth. Front stance, Senkotsudachi. Back stance, Kokotsudachi. And horse stance, Kibadachi, form the bedrock of karate. These stances turn your legs into tree trunks, rooting you to the ground and providing a stable platform for your techniques. Morio Higana, the Goju-ryu karate master, was famous for his rock-solid stances. When he sunk into a stance, it was like watching a mountain take root. Advanced techniques, the secret weapons that separate the masters from the novices. Spinning back kick, Bashira Mawashi Geri. Jumping front kick, Tobi Mei Geri. And Temishiwari, board/brick breaking, are the techniques that push karate to its limits. These moves require years of dedicated training and conditioning to master, but when unleashed, they are truly devastating. Masutetsu Oyama, the founder of Kyokushin Karate, was famous for his incredible feats of Temishiwari. When he struck a stack of bricks or boards, it was like watching a human wrecking ball in action. The karate techniques we'd explored are more than just physical movements. They are a testament to the power of the human spirit. Each technique represents countless hours of blood, sweat, and tears shed in dogos across the world. From the dedicated beginner practicing their first straight punch, to the seasoned master shattering bricks with a single blow, every karateka embodies the indomitable spirit of the martial arts.